Hi, I'm Daniel James. Welcome to this week's Live Wire. My special guests this week hail from Devon in the southwest of England, and it's a brand new rock band, Bad Willow. Welcome to Live Wire.
Hello, thank you for having us. We're looking forward to it. We're excited for sure.
It looks like you're in a recording studio. It looks like a really great setting. Have you been recording recently?
Yeah, well, we recorded our last single here, Dove. We recorded it here at On Track Audio, and he's been very kind to let us use it again for this interview. And it's also where we're going to record our EP that will be coming out late summer, maybe. Yeah, if all goes well. So,
Well, look, as part of introducing you to a new audience, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us the name of the members of your band. There's you, Harrison. Introduce the lady with you.
oh, this is Charlotte. I'll let you introduce the other members.
We have Tom, who is our lovely bassist, and Joe is our drummer.
Yeah, so four of us in the band, cracking on with it.
And how long have you been together?
Oh,
As a full band, I think since January.
yeah.
I think maybe February was our first gig. So it's still quite a new thing. We're still sort of
before this year. I mean, in 2022, you were releasing music, but the lineup was slightly different. Is that right?
Yeah, the lineup was just yours truly here, just us two. So yeah, we were still releasing music, but we were doing home recordings at that time. So we record it at home, and then I would be doing the drums and the bass and everything like that. And we would just edit it to the best of our abilities. And that's
How did
kind
you
of what
get
hear for all
together?
the tracks before done. What, me and Charlotte?
Yeah. Did you go to
What's the
school
long story?
together? Were you
tell it.
studying?
Yeah, we met at school in music class and French. So yeah, we've known each other a long time, since we were 14, I think.
Wow. That's
But we didn't
great
start
to have
doing
that
music until
history.
we were 20.
Yeah, we knew each other in school, and then we parted ways, and we sort of did our own thing. And then it was about 2 years ago, we met back up, and we only met to sort of do some music, and then we were like, oh, we really like this. And yeah, ever since then, we just sort of was like, let's try to do this as much as possible.
So when you were playing music at school, when you first met, were you both playing instruments, or what were you doing?
I learned drums as my first instrument, and then I was starting to learn guitar, but I wasn't that good. But I was just trying to grasp it. You were doing singing, weren't you?
Yeah, always just a singer.
And a bit of guitar though.
Oh yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of guitar. Very
And-
bad guitar playing.
Yeah, she's not bad. He always talks badly about her playing, but she's pretty good.
Oh.
She's big.
When do you write together as well?
Yeah. We write together pretty much all our Bad Willow song we did writing together, and it varies a bit between who contributes what and where. Sometimes one person's got an idea, next time another person's got an idea, but we each sort of input in, and I think that's where you sort of get the mix of lyrics and different meanings and everything like that.
Tell me, can you remember the first song you wrote together?
Yeah, it's called Balloons, and it's on one of our early EPs. The mix is pretty poor now because we didn't know how to edit at the time, but it's still I think probably one of our favorite songs to play. It's an audience favorite, I think.
And
So who came up with the initial lyrics or the initial idea for Balloons? Because it's an unusual title, isn't it? Tell us about it.
I'm not too sure actually. I think you started playing kind of the riff you had in your head for it.
Yeah, I came up with a weird riff. I can come up with riffs, and then Charlotte's really good at going, oh, I like that one because it sounds a bit different to things I've heard before. And then I can never remember who writes the lyrics in our song because it's always like a joint effort. So I always forget who did what line or which. But I think Charlotte came up with the title and everything like that. And then I would add in lines here and there. It was that kind of thing.
And was that one of your first EPs? Because I know in 2022 you had an EP out, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a self-titled EP called Bad Willow, and that was all just home recordings. Balloons is on that, And that is a good EP. Some songs we listen back to now and we're like, oh, that didn't come out the way we wanted it to in recording. So for example, with Balloons, we're going to re-record that and put it on the new EP with the full band, because we play it live now and it sounds quite different. And we really want to sort of capture that in the studio too.
But that's fantastic, because it's like you're developing as you go along, you know, and it's like a whole learning curve. It's like when you say, you know, she comes up with an idea, then you come up with a riff, and it goes. You'd be amazed how many songwriting teams just mirror. You know, you're mirroring what they did. I mean, there's no right and there's wrong. There's no recipe, but it obviously works for both of you. You obviously spark off each other, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we were both writing music before, like separately, but the cool thing about writing together is you don't really know what you're going to come up with, because if you're writing by yourself, sometimes you sing a lot about the same topics or whatever. But when you're writing as a duo, you usually come up with something completely new that you never thought you'd end up writing about. And that's just because you're bouncing ideas off of each other and seeing what lands.
Have you got similar taste in bands that you like, or different taste?
A bit of both, I'd say.
Who do you like? Who do you like, Charlotte? Who are your influences? Who did you like growing up?
My hero is Kate Bush.
Fantastic.
Absolutely obsessed with her. Love her. I've really been into Fiona Apple recently as well, and people like that. So I like a lot of sort of female artists that are a little bit kind of quirky and a bit more sort of alternative.
What's your favorite Kate Bush track?
Well, that's a hard question.
Too many.
Cloud Busting?
I think
Running Up the Hill?
Work.
This Woman's Work.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be.
Great choice. Great choice. Harrison, what about you? Who were your inspirations? Who did you listen to when you were growing up?
For me, I mean, the whole reason I started playing guitar was purely because I wanted to learn how to play the song Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. And I just wanted to learn that, and that was it, because I just loved that song so much. So I learned the guitar and I learned that song. And then after that, I just sort of had the bug for it, learning more guitar. So Dire Straits was a huge influence for me. Other bands like the Eagles, they were massive too. The Kinks, and then the Beatles later on as well. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. I could go on. There's too many.
No. But it's really interesting because you know the Kinks, the Beatles. You know, you're naming bands that are actually a generation or two before you. Was this music that you listened to at home that your parents played, or was it just something you found?
For me, yeah, definitely. So I was sort of raised listening to Dire Straits, the Eagles all the time. Then got into like Creedence Clearwater Revival. So sort of that 70s rock is like passed on from my dad. He would be showing me that and everything. The 60s stuff was sort of me going back listening to it, because he didn't like the 60s, because he was at that age where the 60s ain't cool, the 70s are cool. So I got into that, and then just try to listen as much as possible. And then we've discovered some new bands recently.
But your dad obviously had great taste. Did you? I don't suppose you listened to Peter Frampton, did he, as well?
Yeah. Frampton Comes Alive. Yeah, we
what
got
a
that
great album.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's great. I still want to get the talk box thing. I haven't got one yet to do the wah, wah, wah sort of noises, but I have to
he's
buy
done
one.
He's done some really interesting talks about how he got the talk box. I don't know whether you've looked into that, but there's a podcast. I can't remember. There was a model in the 60s called Twiggy.
Oh yeah.
Very famous 60s model, iconic, in fact. Yeah, Twiggy was from Neasden, and she was discovered when she was about 16 in black and white. If you can imagine, you know, you think about London in the 1960s, black and white, foggy, and all the photographers loved Twiggy, and she became a big star in the States, and she became friends with Peter Frampton and lots of other people. Anyway, she does a podcast. Try and find the podcast, because on the podcast that she talks to Peter Frampton, he explains how that voice box, the music box came along that he used, because it's quite iconic.
Yeah.
So look that out. So we've got people with two very different tastes coming together. When did you start playing together then?
Well, 2 years ago, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was sort of the first time. And we started busking quite a lot right from the get-go, which I'd never done before. Charlotte did a lot by herself, just busking. So that was kind of how we sort of started to learn how to play together and how to read each other and sort of interact musically and everything like that. And then we started getting our gigs in as a duo, and that was good fun for a while too.
Did you make any money busking then?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
rolling in it, weren't we? Yeah,
The good days and bad days.
yeah. It's
What
one
were
of
your
those
busking?
like,
What were your big money makers? Like, what got you a bit of cash in when you were busking? Which songs?
I think I know. I think Rhiannon was a huge one.
Oh yeah, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, we used to play Rhiannon a lot.
Army
all the
Dreamers.
Kate Bush songs. Yeah, we used to play Army Dreamers, Cloud Busting, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh, those are amazing.
I think they're pretty good choices, you know.
Yeah.
So then you say you started to get gigs. Was it like local pubs and places like that?
Yeah. So our first gig was out where we would go busking. There's a coffee shop right next to it, and the owners really liked us busking because apparently people came in because they heard us busking. I don't know if I believe that, but they would bring us out coffees and everything. And then one day they said, "Do you want to play in the coffee shop do a gig?" And we were like, "Yeah." So that was our first ever gig. And then after that, we just started trying to play all the pubs in the area, all the music clubs, as much as a duo can, until we thought we really want a band to play the bigger venues.
So was it just the two of you initially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just us two.
So where was the percussion coming from if you were on guitar? Were you just tapping your foot?
So at first there wasn't really any percussion apart from trying to slap the guitar and that. But then after a while, I got annoyed of not having any beat. So I got the kick drum off my drum kit and I put that behind me, and then I could stomp on it with my back foot as we were doing gigs, and then you just kind of get a four on the floor, just sort of rhythm going. But it was enough to get people dancing and get people excited. So we relied on that.
Very resourceful, you know.
Yeah, I do what I can.
So you obviously then decided you needed to expand, yeah? How did you find your members for the band? Did you put an ad in a window online? What did you do?
We were quite lucky because our bassist Tom had seen us play quite a few times at an open mic and sort of volunteered himself as bassist from pretty early on. And then we were just desperately trying to find a drummer. And we were traveling around France in our camper van when a very amazing drummer called Joe reached out to us on the very random chances, and he was amazing. He was a great fit, so it was all the good.
Was he actually in France at the time, or did he just reach out online?
No, he reached out over Facebook.
Over Facebook, and we never heard of him. And then it was quite funny because the Palladium Club, which is our local music club where we were sort of playing all these gigs and going every week, and I was like the house drummer at the jam night there. And then Joe also teaches drums at the Palladium Club, but we never ran into each other for this whole year, and we've been desperately looking for a drummer. And then one day he messages us, and we're like, "That's sweet as," but we were away in France for 2 months, and he messaged us at the start of it. So we're like, "Oh, you're gonna have to wait for 2 months till we're back."
He wasn't in a band at the time then. You weren't going to lose him to anyone else.
Well, we were worried about it because drummers are like gold dust around here. You know, they're hard to come by, like a good one. So we were worried about it, but he hasn't been in a band for quite a few years, so he kind of wanted to get back into it. And he had, he'd been in big bands before and everything like that, so he was very experienced.
Did you audition him, or did he just slot straight in? How did it,
We did audition him, kind of.
Yeah.
So
did he audition you?
Yeah, wow. We arranged a practice to sort of audition him, and then on that day my van was playing up. It just wasn't starting, so we were late to the practice, and then we turn up, and Tom and Joe were already being really pally together, and we're like, "Oh, do you guys know each other?" And they go, no, first time we met. And I think that was quite a clear indication how well he just got on with Tom easily, and then with us as well. It was really strange. It was like we clicked instantly, and we showed him the songs, and he knew what to do with it. And he didn't do too much as well. He was listening to other members in the group to not overstep, as every player has to, and he was just a great fit.
Yeah.
And do you now write as a four, or are you two still the main writers?
Still just us two, isn't it?
For now, yeah.
Yeah.
We got such a big back catalogue of songs that we just want to get out there, really.
Yeah, we got so many songs that we want them to learn, and we want to get on albums. So, yeah, I think it will be us writing together.
For a while.
You said you were in France for 2 months, obviously driving around. Did you busk while you were in France?
Yeah, we did a little bit of busking around France. It's a sort of mixed reception. They're quite strict on it over there.
Really?
Legally,
Yeah, technically it's illegal to busk with an amp.
Wow, what a shame, because there must be loads of like young musicians traveling around. You'd think that, you imagine in France, particularly like Paris, that would thrive. They'd love it.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But no, they were really strict.
Some places cared, some places didn't. So even though that was a rule, you go to a town and the locals absolutely loved hearing music. They would all stand and watch, and they were very generous with paying money as well. And then other places, usually if you get in a more touristy place where there are other buskers, they don't like it as much.
Because they didn't pelt you with any baguettes then?
No.
We did get given cakes a few times and things like that, like little French sweets and stuff.
What more can you ask for? Wow, cakes.
Yeah, they gave us food. Yeah, they gave us a dinner, didn't they?
Yeah,
a couple dinners.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I mean, you wait till you get your records out and you go back there, they'll be like, they were the guys that we gave the cakes to.
Yeah, it was funny. One place we went to, they heard Charlotte. We did a Army Dreamers or something by Kate Bush, and then they were just obsessed, and they were like, "Oh, more Kate Bush, more Kate Bush!" They were absolutely loving it, and we had to play like every Kate Bush song we could kind of think of and like how to remember it. But they just went crazy for it.
Wow, obviously big Kate Bush fans there, eh?
Yeah,
they did seem to be actually.
She
went down very well in France. Crazy. Yeah.
Did you try any pidgin French, or did you just sing it in English?
No, I started at the beginning of the trip. I tried to learn a song in French and realized that I was just going to butcher it. So I thought I'll just do it in English. I won't offend anybody.
Yeah, you might have got the baguettes if you'd done that.
Yeah.
We did learn. I learned like some French phrases and everything like that as much as I could, but not very well. But the problem when you're busking is they'll come up and speak to you, and then that's great. But then I would say something like, "Oh, I can't speak French" or whatever like that in French. But then they carry on speaking French to me. So there was a very awkward interaction where you just have loads of French people just talking to you, being really friendly. And you just have no idea what they're saying. And you're like, do we smile along? Do we say we can understand? But they're also giving you money. So you're like, don't let this stop.
They loved your music, obviously. But I can relate to what you're saying. I remember being in Italy, in Rome once, and I'd learned a couple of phrases. So when I say the phrases, they then assumed I could speak Italian. So they came back with a big long sentence, and I'm like, I don't know what to say now.
Yeah, that was exactly it. Yeah, because you never learn how to speak to the responses. You just know your phrases, and then they say something. You're like, what on earth? No idea.
But it sounds like it was a good experience. Have you just done France, or have you toured anywhere else in your van?
Just France at the moment.
Done Wales.
Oh, Wales. Oh yeah, we did
Wales.
And don't forget Wales. They'll be buying your records.
Yeah, the France of the UK.
So, guys, I want to ask you about your cover, your Nirvana cover, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Now, earlier on, I asked you about, the things you liked when you were growing up, the bands, and you said Dire Straits and that. Nirvana, were they in there? What made you pick this cover?
My mum is a massive Nirvana fan. She absolutely loves them, so I think that was part of it.
Yeah, I was never really a Nirvana fan until quite recently, really. Only like the last couple of years, I kind of got into them. I think we chose that cover because we sort of learnt it and we just started playing it quite different to the original, which is kind of our favorite way to play covers. And we just thought, why not record this?
Yeah, a bit of fun.
And I bet it's interesting with the girl's vocal on there as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not been everybody's cup of tea, I don't think. Some people just love the original so much.
Yeah.
But it was a good challenge, I think, to try and get that tone right for the song. Yeah.
I always think it's nice when you do a cover, you don't do it identical, you do your own take on it. And if people like it, fair enough. And if they don't, at least you've had a go,
Yeah. absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite covers are always when a band or an artist takes a song and just does something completely different with it. And that's a risky thing because some people love the original and they don't want to hear it different. But other times you find the song or the lyrics being used in a whole new way, which I think is brilliant. So I'm very
Down
proud of
the
that.
down the line, if if money was no object, you've got an album deal or whatever, have you got a couple of covers that either of you fancy doing further down the line?
Ooh,
You
that's a good one.
you always go on about Kate Bush, don't you?
Yeah, what's that? The Smiths song I want to do really.
Oh,
I've forgotten the name of it suddenly.
How
Soon Is
How
Now?
Soon Is Now?
How soon? Do you know what? I was just going to say, how soon is now? But I thought I'd let you
Really?
come. Yeah, I was just going to say it. I think you'd do a great cover of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wanted to do that for years now. I keep going on about it.
I've recently bought a delay pedal, so it will
Oh,
it will
might
work
happen.
now. Yeah.
You're off. You're off and running, aren't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
So you have the Nirvana cover, and then the album. What is it? Friends in My Dreams.
Yeah, A Friend in My Dreams. Yeah, that was a single we released pretty shortly after the Nirvana cover.
So you got to tell me what Friend in My Dreams. You got to tell us about that.
Well, it's quite a sad one, that one. It's about a really good friend of mine who sadly passed away a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago now actually. But it was while we were traveling around France, and I just kept having dreams of him, just us hanging out. We used to do a lot of fishing together, a lot of cricket, things like that, and I just kept having dreams of him. And then we were as a songwriter, you kind of write songs about the things that are affecting you in that moment, and I just really wanted to write a song to sort of remember him by. And try do it in a style that he would enjoy to listen to as well, because he was a huge Pink Floyd fan. So with that solo in that song, that's why I had to try learn how to solo a bit like Pink Floyd. That was sort of my impression of David Gilmour, even though it's probably not that close. But yeah.
Had he passed away by the time you were having the dreams, he was coming into your mind? Had he already passed away by then?
Yeah, that was like 3 years before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say, it's almost like they're trying to give you a message that they're okay, and they're thinking of you. He could be looking down on you.
It could be. I mean, it was strange. It's all that sort of thing that feels like humans will never fully understand how it works, but it's very powerful stuff, and yeah, moved me a lot.
And as you say, as musicians, we tend to write about what we know.
Precisely, yeah.
So how did Dove come about?
How did Dove come about? You probably remember it better than I do.
Yeah. That was another one in France. We wrote a lot in France, I think. And we just visited Lourdes, which is
a pilgrim site.
Oh, right.
France, Lourdes.
What was that like?
Amazing.
Amazing. It was very strange. It was a very impressive building, but people would travel from all over the world to come there, and the whole town was just based around the sort of church they have at Lourdes. So I think we both found it quite a surreal experience.
Yeah.
And then it inspired us to write a bit as well.
Are you particularly, were you religiously moved by it? Or was it just the spectacle of it? What was it that you felt?
I think more the spectacle of it, probably. I mean, it was just so people just got so involved with it, and I think that's what I connected with, is how much it meant to the people around us, more than necessarily to me. That was, yeah, very, very moving, I think.
What was I'm interested because I've never been to Lourdes, and you do hear a lot about it. Was it like older people or young people, or a big mix of people who believed in it?
It was a whole mix,
say,
really.
Yeah, a huge mix, and people from all different countries too. Yeah, sort of people travel from really, really far to go there, and they have like a holy water tap as well, and people would be filling up their buckets with that to take home to their families and things like that. So it was definitely a unique experience.
Did you put your hand in the holy water?
I drank a bit. I was pretty parched at the time.
Well, you can drink the holy. I imagine it to be in like a well or something, you know, a bit grotty. What? Tell us.
They're like taps,
It was
like
just
rows of taps.
yeah.
And you can fill up whole buckets of it. We ended up taking a few bottles of it with us. I think we might have cooked our pasta with it and everything.
When you're traveling around in a camper van, water can be a hard thing to come across. So you got to take your chances if you see a tap. So you know, we needed to eat pasta, and that's how it works.
So little do these religious people that travel around the world know that you filled your bottle and made your pasta. You had holy pasta.
We had holy pasta.
It was very nice pasta.
Did the water taste chalky or anything? What was it? Did it taste slightly different or?
Yeah, it did to me. Yeah, I thought it tasted quite different.
Do you think it did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I can't really remember how to describe the taste, but yeah, definitely very different to the water we got back here. Yeah.
Well, you were obviously being religiously blessed by that water, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Could be. Maybe. Yeah.
So any more plans for any trips?
Oh, we'd love to, but we'll see.
We'll have to see. We'd love to go around Europe again. Scotland is the next sort of thing which we're looking realistically at. I really want to spend some time in Scotland. I've never been, and apparently it's pretty amazing there.
Yeah.
And I love
the Highlands are beautiful, and I mean it'd be great if you could get some gigs, you know, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, because Scotland have got, you know, they're known for their really earthy bands and stuff.
Yeah, we would love to be able to start playing over there and everything. That's kind of what stage we're at the minute, is we're trying to just play it in a wider sort of area, reach out to as many venues as possible, and get to play in cities more where they got a huge sort of history of music and bands coming up through that city too.
I think the only holy water in Glasgow might be alcoholic though.
Yeah, Heineken or something.
What was that going to? McEwen's probably. Have you heard In a Big Country by Big Country?
Oh, that's one that rings a bell, but I can't think how it goes, but I do know Big Country.
I'm just thinking of the guitar on it, because obviously you love guitar. So have a listen to Big Country, a couple of their tracks, because there might be a nice cover you could play if you were busking in Scotland.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a listen. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not suggesting all their tracks, but there might be a couple in there, because I can hear the guitar in my head now. And of course, Stuart Adamson, who was the lead singer, sadly passed away. But they had some cracking tracks, Big Country. Yeah,
that's one of those bands that I've heard a lot about, and I think I've listened to their songs a few more times, but I've not listened to them as much as I should. It's one of them.
It's all a learning curve, though, isn't it? I mean, there's so much music out there, you can't possibly listen to it all.
Yeah, we try to, but we fall short.
Yeah.
Who do you like? What do you like at the moment that's out there?
I think I said earlier I'm really into Fiona Apple at the moment, but she's been out for a while, but I've only just sort of discovered who she is.
Yeah, I'm always obsessed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Love hearing their stuff. I've got really into like the grunge movement, like listening to Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and Candlebox and all sort of the bands from that sort of style and everything. What else have we got?
I like Grimes. I don't know Grimes. She's a bit more.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's at the moment there seems to be it's a lot of music. It's percussion and beats, isn't it? At the moment, do you ever think, you know, we could diversify a little bit and, you know, just maybe put a little bit of, you know, R&B in there or something, or would you never go down that road?
No, I think we try any genre really.
Yeah, I think anything's open. I've never been a big fan of like drum machines. I can't see us using them in general. Maybe the odd track it might really work.
Yeah.
But it's not. I'd much prefer. I like the organic feel of players and everything like that.
Well, you've got a cracking drummer. You need to lock him in a cupboard and don't let him go anywhere else. You know, are you taking him to Scotland with you, or is it just going to be the two of you?
It'll probably just be the two of us. You know, we only got one van and it'd be a bit too snug with two other blokes. But we'll see if we get a gig. You know, if we're looking at booking gigs, so if we get a gig up there, then we'll all be traveling up together to play the venues there.
So I was going to ask you, what's next for you guys? What's next for Bad Willow? What would you like to happen next?
I think it would just be playing in more cities, wouldn't it? Playing at more music venues.
I think like a tour.
A tour would be
short
great. Yeah, in different areas. We really want to get on the festival scene as well.
Oh, that'd be great.
Start playing there. We got our EP sort of coming up.
When is the EP coming out?
Ooh, we know we're starting recording it at the minute in August. That's the plan. So how long will it take? Maybe September if it all goes well. Yeah.
Have you got a title?
No.
We haven't. No.
Just the Bad Willow EP.
Well, yeah, we've already named an EP Bad Willow though, haven't we?
Yeah.
So technically.
We know what songs are going to be on it and everything. We just haven't. We don't know which one we're going to name it after.
No, and we got to do all the artwork and everything like that. We haven't done that yet.
I never asked you at the beginning. How did the name Bad Willow come about?
I'll let you explain this one.
Question.
Yeah, it's your favorite question.
It was based on a character from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the 90s show. There's a character in it called Willow who in season 6 turns bad, I suppose. And when we got our first gig booked in, we didn't have a name, so we were sort of panicking to come up with something, and we were watching Buffy at the time and someone said Bad Willow and we thought, yeah, that'll do. Stick it on the posters, and now we've still got the name. So
it's a great name. I'd stick with it if I were you. It's really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Well, guys, I have to say, been great talking to you. So where can people watching, where can they find your music?
They can find us on all streaming services, Spotify, everything like that.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, if they can follow us on our social medias, we'll be very grateful on Instagram and Facebook and all the other ones. Anything.
Are you just under Bad Willow?
Yeah. Are we?
Yeah, sometimes there's an underscore somewhere or another, but I think
if
we type in Bad Willow, I think we come up.
Yeah, hopefully we'll come up.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to the new EP coming out. Get in that studio, get slaving away, and get the tracks out. And hopefully we'll see you on the road soon as well.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be coming to a town near you if we're lucky.
Good. I just got a lucky omen for you. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hang on a sec. Hopefully it's going to go well. Come on.
How exciting.
Is it a dog?
It's
a cat.
Oh, there you go. Come on. So this is a little lady called Willow.
No way.
Say hello to Willow. Isn't she lovely?
Hello. Oh, I want to pet Willow.
She's lovely. So I just thought she just wants to wish you luck. There you go.
Thank you.
So from one Willow, a good Willow, to a bad Willow. Thank you for joining us on Livewire this week. Best of luck, and hopefully you'll be back on with us again soon.
Brilliant. Amazing. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Say bye-bye, Willow. Say
nice
bye-bye.
to meet Willow. Bye-bye.
Harrison, Charlotte, it's been great talking to you. Thank you for joining me on the show, and thank you for watching. We'll be back very soon with more Livewire.
Simple-minded, so I'll never hurt no one. I wanna be a dove. Simple-minded, so I'll never hurt no one. Stitch my eyesight shut, 'cause I can't look away from things I should. Stitch my eyesight shut, 'cause I can't look away from things I should.